So these are the next notes that we're going to take. So it looks like this on one side. Two lines intersect at a point. Two planes intersect. It looks like this on the other side. So remember, you can always stop the video if you're looking for it. And once you find it, you're just going to fold it in half. Like that. And then I'm just going to cut out this little rectangle at the top, but I'm going to open it before I do that. So you don't want to cut off the whole thing. You want it to look like this. I'm only going to cut to like the middle, and then I'm going to go this way. I'm going to cut that off the top, like that. So it looks like that. So that when you fold it, whoops, you can see the title. So the title is Intersection of Lines and Planes. So when we have lines and planes and all that stuff that's intersecting together, where do they intersect? What does it look like? So the first one is if we have, and again, you can cut your little doors here. You don't have to. But if you like to have the little doors for if you're studying and you only want to kind of peek at one thing at a time, you can cut your little doors so that they open like that. You can do one at a time if you want. All right, so the first one is two lines. So if you have two lines, they intersect at a point. So that's kind of like those two pieces of string. And if they cross each other and they intersect, so here's, and again, it's hard to draw pictures of things that go on forever. But if you have two lines, they're going to intersect right there. They're going to intersect at a point. So whenever you have two lines that intersect, they intersect at a point. So there's a little example over here that I'm going to move to. It says name the intersection of line LM. Notice how I said line because it's got that line symbol above it with the two arrows. So line LM, which is this line, and remember it doesn't stop at M, it just means that it passes through L and it passes through M. And then the other point is line PM. So again, it passes through P, it passes through M, but it goes on forever. So those two lines intersect at, I know it's going to be a point because two lines always intersect at a point, they're going to intersect at point M. So when you write that, you can either write out the word like this, point M, and it's a capital letter, right? You can just put M as well, but I think it's best to write out the word point. So two lines are always going to intersect at a point. So the next one is what if you have two planes? Those are going to intersect at a line. So that's like those two pieces of paper. Remember, pretend those are planes that go on forever. So two planes intersect. So think of this as if you had like a little maze or something and you like put cardboard together to make walls or something. And then, I don't know, maybe you had a little mouse running around. Remember, those dotted lines mean things that you wouldn't actually see. But if you have these two planes, they're going to intersect. And you can think about it. They're going to intersect here, they're going to intersect here, they're going to intersect here, they're going to intersect there. They're going to intersect all along here, right? And remember, it would keep going because planes really go on forever. But those two planes are going to intersect all along that line. So two planes intersect at a line. So we have example of that. It says name the intersection of plane D. So plane D, I see the D up here. So that's that plane that's going up, down. And then the intersection of plane A, which I see the A right here. So that's the plane kind of going left to right. And remember, imagine that they keep going on forever. Those two planes are going to intersect right along this line. Because remember, pretend they go on forever. They're going to intersect all along that line. So if you're going to name that line, remember, pick any 2 points that this line passes through. So you can say line XR, line RZ, line ZX, pick any 2 points, but don't pick more than 2, right? You don't have to use 3 points. So I'm just going to call it line ZR. So ZR, and make sure you put the symbol for a line above it. So 2 planes always intersect right along a line. And then the last one, if you have a plane and a line, those are going to intersect at a point. And when I think of that, I kind of think of the plane being like the dartboard, and then the line being the dart. I mean, that's not a perfect example, but that's just maybe one way you could think of it. So I have a plane, so here's my plane, and I'm intersecting that with a line. So here's my line, and remember, because it's dotted, that's what I wouldn't really see, so it's kind of like it's stabbing it, and that dotted part is maybe underneath it because I can't see it. But a plane and a line intersect at a point right there. So here's our example. Name the intersection of plane HEF. So plane HEF is this plane up here. So it's like the top of the box. And then line, notice how I said line, because it's got the line symbol above it, line GC. So here's G and here's C, right? And you have to think, again, that that plane, if that plane went on forever, where would that plane and that line intersect? They would intersect right there. That's the only part of those 2 things that would kind of be touching. So they're going to intersect at point G. So there are our notes on intersection of lines and planes. That's a short one for today.